Hi everybody, it's Tatiana and today I'm going to do a book review and I will be reviewing The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice. I read this in audiobook format over my winter break travels and I thoroughly enjoyed the book. I will say, and I'll get into this a little further along into the review, if I had not chosen to pick this up as an audiobook, I probably would not have read it as a print book. The story is about a young reporter named Reuben Golding, and he's basically a pretty boy who, everybody has their ideas of what he should be doing, what path he should be following, and he is having a hard time figuring out what the heck he's going to do and how to respond and deal with the expectations other people place on him in spite of them being different from what he wants for himself. He is sent to this historic mansion/estate in San Francisco to interview the present owner, who is in the process of selling the estate, which is basically her family estate. And there's a lot of mystery around the original owner of the house, who is her uncle, and while he is there, they are violently attacked, and as a result of the attack, he comes into contact with this creature, and he has absolutely no idea what this creature is, and through having or being attacked, he's thrust into this new life, this new world that he didn't know existed. Did I like the book? Yes. There were some things in the story that I did not like, and I'll get into them a little bit, but I don't want to spoil the book. It's a 17-hour and some minute audiobook series. I think there are like 14 CDs, and it got to the point at one part where I thought it was getting ready to end, and then I was like, damn, I got 2 CDs left. So it goes a little bit longer than I expected it to go as far as with the storyline and everything, but I did enjoy the book. There were some things that I did not enjoy as it gets into talking about some of the characteristics of the wolf gift and some of the experiences that the wolf has that are kind of gross, and it takes a lot to gross me out. But as I was reading it, I was trying to, if people were driving past me on the road, they were probably thinking, what the heck is going on with her, if they took the time to look at me as I was driving, because I know I was screwing my face up, because a lot of the things, the way that they're described, and the descriptions were great, absolutely wonderful. But it was so descriptive that it was disgusting. Like, even in listening to it, I could hear what, like, when flesh was being torn into, I could hear it in my imagination. And there were just some interactions that transpired that were really beyond what I would normally enjoy. Like, if I were watching it on TV, it would be absolutely disgusting, because I'm thinking about what you're describing and what the wolf looks like as you're describing it. And yeah, there were some pretty messed up things in there, both in the wolf's predatory state and the wolf's sexual state, that were just a little gross, a little bit more than I wanted to deal with. But I will say, the reason why I continued to listen to the book was, number one, because those were a small portion of the story. And the story itself, I absolutely enjoyed. The story is so well put together. It's well written. The descriptions that are used are so vivid, and you can see it, which may not necessarily be a good thing while you're driving, but you can see it unfolding. And Anne Rice does a great job of creating this world. And it's this gothic, supernatural world that's taking place in a society that is very much today. So it's not a world that's separate from normal society. It's not a world that is completely aside and away from what we would be dealing with as regular people in reality. It is our reality that this supernatural element is plugged into, and it works so well. Even with the people who are coming in contact and who are experiencing on the outside, who are experiencing what's going on and just trying to make sense of it, and they can't. There's a very high amount of media presence in the story because, number one, the main character is a reporter, and so it's his take on it, as well as you get snippets of press releases and reports and interviews from other people who claim to be experts or who have encountered such, the same types of experiences that Ruben has encountered, and that makes it even more it makes it seem like it's even more implanted in today's society. The reason why I truly enjoyed this book is because of its narrator. If I had picked this book up in print form and tried to read it or started to read it, I probably would not have finished it in a month, much less 2 weeks. The narrator of the story is Ron McClarty, and he does, oh my gosh, he's absolutely amazing. There are so many characters in this story, and he did an excellent job of having a different voice for each character. So you knew when it was Ruben's mother speaking, you knew when it was Ruben's father or his brother or the owner of the house. There is, the difference between the human being that is the man wolf and the actual wolf that's speaking, and they are the same person, but their voices are totally different. And not one voice sounds the same. I mean, oh my gosh, it was absolute heaven. If it were not for his superb narration of this novel, I probably would not have finished it. I know this is a novel I could not have picked up and read in print form and enjoyed as much as I enjoyed with Ron McClarty narrating it. Though it's a really good book. The world that is created, Anne Rice she just does a wonderful job of making these fictitious worlds and implanting them in what would be our modern day society and making it work and making it enjoyable. And oh my goodness, if it was not for Ron McClarty, I would not have finished that book. I wouldn't have gotten past the gross sex scenes and the gross eating of it. And it wasn't even, here's what's funny, it wasn't even the tearing up of humans that grossed me out. It was the wolf eating other animals that grossed me out. But that is all that I'm going to say about that. I would definitely suggest reading it. I am not going to read The Wolves of Midwinter in print form. I'm going to definitely do that in audiobook form just so I can continue to listen to it with Ron McClarty narrating it. If I can find The Wolves of Midwinter on YouTube as narrated by Ron McClarty, I will probably read it before Christmas because I just want to hear his voice again. It was freaking awesome. It was like the best bedtime story ever, just because of Ron McClarty. That's all that I'm going to say about that, and I said pretty much. I hope you all have a good weekend, whenever you see this video. Peace out.